what's up?
Oh, that's Stacy.
Oh. I'm going, okay. And thank God I had an assistant. She took the kids in. I picked them up and waited in the hallway.
Yeah.
And we tried the antihistamines, and then the nurse had an EpiPen. And that year,
Yeah.
that next year, we had EpiPens in the hallways.
Oh, good.
And then we all
Yeah.
were trained on them.
Oh, that's
And
smart.
then we all were trained on that, the shot machine.
Yeah,
That, you know,
oh, what do they call
Yeah,
that
that
thing?
one.
Yeah.
We all
It's
had to be trained on, we had one of those.
defibrillator thing.
Defibrillator, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
scared,
right. Yeah, but
And he had to be transported and everything. It was
yeah. Wow.
very scary.
Interrupt you guys,
Okay.
okay.
Yep, I'll touch base.
Time up. It's time to go. We'll keep on order. Okay, if everyone has their microphones on, I'll look and see. We ready over there? Okay, thanks. Okay, it is 5:30. I'll call the meeting to order and ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Give everyone a couple more minutes to review the consent agenda. Okay. We'll proceed on. We would need a motion to approve the January 22nd, 2024 regular board meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Any further conversation? Hearing none, all in favor, show of hands. Okay, thank you. All right. First up, we have Besser Elementary presentation.
Hello, thank you for coming to Besser. First of all, just wanted to welcome you to Besser and thank you for being here tonight. Since it's Board Appreciation Month, some of our MTSS members have put together an appreciation slideshow just demonstrating that we recognize what you do for us and we appreciate that and how it impacts us here. Also, you may have noticed that you got some cookies there, and hopefully you noticed the bus driver as well. So, and then your water bottles also have some candy in them if you need an extra little boost tonight.
Thank you.
So, thanks again. Now I'd like to present Maureen Regan and Leslie Shemansky.
So we created the slideshow, and we wanted to make sure that there were certain areas that we wanted to hit on. And each grade level in our building made a card for each area that we are thankful for all that you do.
So we're going to start with our third graders. They say, "Dear school board members, Alpena Public School families and staff are honored to have you represent our district. We want to thank you for providing funding in different ways to enrich the learning environment for our students. The students love Imagine Math and all the hands-on learning with all the wonderful manipulatives that are given to the school. Thank you for using part of our budget to fund our buses that transport our students to and from school every day. Thanks for all you do. You are so appreciated. Sincerely, your Besser family."
The next area that we would like to thank you for is hiring good staff.
Our kindergartners came up with this very, very simple poster that just said, "Thanks for hiring good staff." They like their teachers.
We are also appreciative of the new reading curriculum.
And that was from our first grade team. And we just said we would like to thank you for approving your new curriculum. Our district benefits from your decisions. And Benchmark Advanced is our new adventure. So we have a number of teachers at Besser that are piloting, or not piloting, but using that right now. And so our kiddos came up with little thank you cards. So we hope that you take some of these back to central office and put those up. So thank you.
Thanks. The next area is the dry and warm from the bond proposal.
Oh, fifth grade did this, and after being here for 31 years, thank you. We no longer have to look at buckets that are collecting the water in our hallways. We no longer have to have kids dodge them and jump over them because it became an obstacle course at many times. And also to have those warm classrooms makes a huge difference. And sometimes they're cool, but they heat up, and we just really appreciate that. So again, thank you for making that a priority here at Besser Schools. I finally more.
The next area is safe from the bond proposal.
And that is, they just wrote us a letter. Thank you for creating rules and policies that keep us safe at school. Sincerely, Besser Elementary, fourth graders. The entranceway this year had the ribbon cutting in. I will say, being a teacher, it does feel safe. I have to remember this because to get in and out of the office, it's like you get down and go, oh no, I forgot my card. But it's very
And the last area is showing support.
And this is from the Besser second graders. We just want to thank you for always showing up at our school events, including the fun fall festival that we had this fall, where there was some trunk or treating and some hay rides and other fun events that went on. For that, for showing up for open house and being willing to visit our classrooms and saying hello and stop and talk whenever you're in the building. And then, of course, our winter programs as well. And just to plug there, school board members, we would love to have you marches around the corner. So please come in and contact us. Stop in, we'd love to sign you up to have you come and be a guest in our classrooms.
The kids love having guest readers because sometimes they get tired of listening to the same people read to them. So please come on in. So at this time, if we look at the slide, what you do allows teachers to do what they do, to teach and inspire students. So what we'd like to do right now is to make the connection to our team here at Besser, because they go above and beyond for our students, and this way you can see the impact that what your decisions and the impact that you have on our community here at Besser. So we'll start from the top down. So in our office, we have our principal who leads staffs, creates a positive learning environment. The dean of students supports so that all students can learn. She can calm the learning environment when necessary so all students can continue to learn. And our secretaries are often the first parent contact, but they keep our building running smoothly. We definitely could not do them without it, and we are so fortunate to have such a strong and wonderful staff. Next, we have our teachers, and they do so many things. They engage to make learning fun and applicable for kids. They differentiate so that students are getting exactly what they need so they can move forward. They encourage so kids can identify what their strengths are and move on from there. They emotionally support because the whole child is important, and it's not just educating the child, but it's also supporting that emotional piece. And finally, they love their students because they are all of our kids. We have teachers who go above and beyond, and they are taking on these initiatives. We have 3 Besser teachers who are implementing Daily 3, and that allows for differentiation in math, and it meets students where they are at. We have 5 of our teachers who are in the Benchmark Advanced cohort. And Benchmark Advanced definitely raises the bar, it challenges our kids, and it is a rigorous spiral curriculum. So it's exciting to see where that's going to go in the future. We have many moving pieces of our team. We have our IAs who support students and teachers. We have our interventionists. We have Stars in Reading Corps that work with K-3 students to support in reading. We have Title, and we work with K-5 reading and math. Our instructional coach supports teachers to support students. Cafeteria staff makes sure our kids are fed and energized. Custodial staff makes sure our school is clean and it's welcoming for anybody who would like to visit. And bus drivers, they have a tough job and they get kids to and from school safely. The emotional piece is not one that we can forget. Teachers use Second Step in the classroom. Counselors in school success help students so they can be ready to learn. All adults in the building are there for our students because all of us, every one of us, is part of the team. Behind every successful school, there are good leaders with vision and a passionate desire to make things even better. And for that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Besser crew. I agree with you, Mrs. Ilsley. I said to Dr. Rabideau, we were walking down the hall, and I said, there are no buckets in the middle of the hallway. It's so nice. Okay, we are at our first opportunity for citizens and delegations to address the board. Okay. Oh, we have one. Come on up. Podium's right there, and we have a 3-minute timer.
Good evening. So my name is Matt Rowe. My son goes to Ella White School. We've been having some problems with busing issues. Kind of curious what's going on here. I'm sure my son's bus hasn't ran probably 75% of the time this year. If we had to miss all that work, would your guys' employer tolerate that? I work 12s, my wife worked 12s. That means we have to be a few hours late in the morning and we have to leave at least 4 hours late in the evening. I mean, it's starting to become an issue where it's going to affect families, and it seems like nothing's happening from this situation. We get phone calls, and that's the end of it. You know, oh, well, this week they're not going to run either. I mean, I understand that, yeah, guys have probably some hiring issues. Maybe throw some money towards the bus drivers or something, you know? It's going to, what about the families that can't afford daycare? Families that can't afford to get a babysitter? Families who can't afford to not go to work? You know, it's a serious issue, and I'd like some answers on it.
Thank you. Do you want to speak?
If you would share your contact information, I can give you a call.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else coming forward, we do have a second chance later on if anyone else comes up with something. We have the approval of consent agenda items listed in the agenda, approval of the December 18th regular meeting minutes, approval of December 18 closed session minutes, approval of the January 8th, 2024 monthly workshop minutes. We would need a motion to approve these consent agenda items as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Anything further while we have a motion on the floor? Okay, hearing nothing, all in favor, show of hands, please. Thank you. Okay. Up next, the policy 7217, weapons. This is our second reading for this policy. We went over this a couple weeks ago at our workshop, but if there's any further conversation or
I'll just mention one thing. Happened to run into the sheriff the other day, and I asked him, kind of along the lines of the same sort of question I'd asked before. I said, can you give me an example of a case where a concealed carrier or any armed citizen interfered or hindered in any way police response to a shooting? And he couldn't come up with anything. And he didn't seem to be, you know, absolutely against the concept of, you know, concealed carriers or teachers or staff or whoever. I'm not saying let's force teachers to be armed. I'm just saying he didn't sound like he was absolutely against it. I see this as part of an ongoing, you know, continuing discussion, but I just thought I'd pass that along.
Okay, anything further? I think we cleaned up the wording quite a bit on concealed weapons in vehicles. And anything else? No. If nothing else, we would need a motion to approve policy 7217 as presented.
Can I ask, do we have to read that publicly?
The whole policy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, just.
I would move to approve policy 7217 as presented.
Support.
Anything further? Hearing nothing, all in favor, show of hands. Note that Dr. Lawson is a no, thank you. Okay. Up next, we have quite a long list of bond bid items as we move on to the next stage with the high school. And some Wilson, it looks like, too.
So we have representatives from Clark here, as well as Simon, to go through this. I did answer a few questions about some of the things in here. So I guess we'll just go through one at a time, obviously, and we can have them kind of walk us through what this is. So Tony, do you want to come up, or if that works? Tony Nathaniel, correct?
Yep, Tony Nathaniel, Clark Construction Senior Project Manager.
And so this is our first bid from Clark for the board. And so we can just kind of walk through and explain what each of the ones are so the public is aware of it, and then the board can have any questions. So first on the list is the Wilson Final Clean.
You just want to talk through
If
it
you
really
wanna-
quick
Oh,
for us?
yeah,
Yep.
sorry.
Perfect, thanks.
All right, yep, so the first list here is all the bid categories that we sent out for bid. We not only posted them on our bid site, but also went to a builders exchange. We reached out to many contractors and actually had pretty good participation for all the major categories. So the first one you see on here is the Final Clean. We did only receive one proposal for that, and that was from Service Master for $3,300. O2A demolition, which a little bit of site work involved with that. We had Denny's Painting at $45,000. We did have 2 bids submitted in that bid category. O3A concrete, a little bit of concrete work at Wilson in the kitchen. We got to take some floor out, put a grease trap in there. So that was $8,500 for J-Main Services. O6A general trades, L&L Contracting was the low bid. We did receive 3 general trades proposals. The largest of that scope is in a couple alternates to fix some fascia at the high school, and then Wilson with the kitchen upgrade. O6B is millwork. Spence Brother was low at $24,500. O7A roofing, had multiple proposals for roofing as it was the biggest bid category. We did, because of the size of the scope, we split the roof into 2 because we really wanted to make sure to get it done this summer. We know that was one of the big items that the school wanted. So we had an A and a B roof. We took the lowest proposal for each. Superior Service for A at $904,900. Colin for B at $817,904. Bid category 07B metal panels. Versatile Roofing was a low contractor there. Really good participation in that category as well. It's for the fascia panels, which alternate 2 and 3 were selected. 08A doors, Traverse City Glass was low. It's the aluminum frames and FRP doors for $379,950. 09A flooring, a little bit of flooring at the high school for the walk-off match entryways, and then a lot of flooring at Wilson for $140,827. Again, another category that we received a lot of participation in. 09B painting, Denny's Painting, $36,888. Bid category 23B mechanical and plumbing. Reamer Plumbing was low. Category, we had 3 proposals submitted, and their number $178,650. Electrical received 2 proposals. Omega Electric was low at $71,199. And then the other costs are our Clark Construction soft cost, which most of them are based off of the total trade cost. For instance, GLI, General Liability Insurance, was 0.75% of the total trade cost. Same thing with our bond. Pre-construction services and supervision were already negotiated. The fee is 4.25% of the trade cost, and then we carried a 10% contingency. So a total $1,201,217 for our Clark Construction soft cost, which gives an all-in total of $4,602,734 for Phase 2A of the bond work for this summer of '24.
Thank you. So some, First off, the majority of this work is at the high school as part of the Safe Warm Dry Bond. And then you saw in there's some general fund and ESSER projects and mixed in there at Wilson and the CTE building. So the process is for all of these projects, you put bids out with the details and receive the bids. Sometimes we receive many bids, sometimes we receive, in the past, we've received 0 bids. So these projects have been bidded out according to those processes.
Yep, the CTE building actually went out for bid today, but we're looking to have that awarded by February 13th.
On 07B, which alternate did you guys go with?
The school wanted to go with alternate 2 and 3.
And you guys decided to go with Versatile Roofing?
Yes.
'Cause
Yes, they were considerably lower than the other proposals. We did get we made some phone calls regarding them. A lot of our downstate partners worked with them quite a bit, and they're a good firm. We reviewed schedule, all the details with them. So we're very confident in what Versatile can do.
just, that was quite a difference in some
It
categories.
was, yep.
You did do a post?
We did. We
bid?
post-bid all these contractors, reviewed schedule, reviewed drawings. Simon sat in on most of them. We had the architect sit on a few of them. So we post-bid every single low-bid contractor. They were, yep,
Okay, hey, they're happy, but
yep.
just hate to get to June and, we didn't know about that. The other one is the site demolition.
Mhm.
What all was included in that bid? Can you give me a little, because
Yeah.
the building itself isn't very large.
Right, it's that lean-to off the back of the metal shop.
Yeah.
So it's demoing that. There's some electrical gear in there we have to take off. There's some concrete masonry wall foundations for like the old holding tanks that are included in that.
Some subsurface.
Some subsurface, yep, correct.
What is the electrical component of that?
The lighting, lighting throughout there has to come out before we do the demo. And then we got to protect that switch gear that's back there as well.
Protect the what?
The switch gear, yeah, it's that big green case where electrical comes. Yep.
Why is there no bids from, I don't know what Denny's painting is anymore. I mean, it's changed hands since I knew him.
Right.
But it seems like kind of a strange category for Denny's painting to be bidding.
Yeah, he's expanded his services quite a bit. Done a lot of fairly significant projects with them throughout northern Michigan. Remodeled a yacht club with them and done quite a bit. He's got a very good demo crew that he has that works for him. Won't be an issue for him to perform this work.
Just the price tag seems about double what I would expect for that size building.
We did get 2 proposals for that category, and he was the low bid.
But I don't see any, I don't see like Bedrock or, oh shucks, now I lost his name, from north of town on that. I mean, like Bedrock is a demolition company.
Right.
So did you submit proposals to them or?
It was a public project. It was in the papers. It was in 2 plan rooms. It was on our bid site. We've reached out to many contractors, and I could review that scope with you if you need me to.
Review the scope of where you put it?
The scope of work, I can review the scope of work with you, the demo scope.
Yeah, so the bids go out, what's the system that the bids go out on?
Well, the state plans that we post on the city, which is, so every bid that
Does anybody read the newspaper anymore?
Well, it goes out in the system as well, so. Yeah. And just recently, well, I guess it was last summer in that round of work, we did have a couple of bid packages that received no bids from companies. And I know Traverse City Glass was involved in that. I don't remember which project that was, but we had to actually go and say, which is no position to be in, we haven't gotten any bids, what's your price? So, again, I think we got a pretty solid response to most of these bids here. 2 bids in this case, and Denny's was the low bid. We can't require companies to bid the projects out if they don't, if they don't feel they can do it, or they choose not to. But we have been in the position where we've received 0 bids on certain packages.
I had a question about flooring.
Yeah.
And I guess it's sort of a little bit of a concern with what's been done already, so I was kind of curious if we know what kind of flooring is going to go in. I have no concerns about Stanson, local company, does wonderful work. But these folks down at Sanborn, I actually ran down there today to look at it. There have been some issues with the new flooring in the classrooms, and I'm not sure how old that really is, but whenever that went in, they've had some issues with wear and damage. I'm not talking about the hallway with the old tile, because that obviously is pretty old, although it's still in really pretty good shape. But primarily it's the classrooms. They did have some issues, they thought maybe with installation. It is easy to clean, but it's primarily those wobble chairs, which the teachers love, but they've really beat up that flooring, and I don't know what Stanson is proposing, or if you guys even know what Stanson would propose to put in there. I'm just kind of maybe just raising a flag here,
okay,
to double check that maybe it's something a little more durable than what went in the last round.
Simon, do you have any information on our? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even with the pads, they said they do make the students use the pads, but even so, it still beats it up.
I actually haven't heard brought this up to me yet.
Well, I had a Will Sub custodian who mentioned it to me, and I thought, oh, well, I wonder if there's anything to this. So I went over there and talked to them, and talked to the night custodian as well as I got a note from Cindy, the custodian, and it does sound like it's been a bit of an issue. So I thought I would just bring it up. Like I said, I don't have any concerns necessarily about Stanson. I just wanted to. I thought this might be an opportunity to say, hey, we may have an issue with the materials themselves, just to be cognizant of.
Yeah, we'll check across the district. I don't recall the flooring that went into the classrooms. It was the LVT, I would assume, at Sanborn.
I mean, we've used 2 different brands, very similar.
Yeah, we're putting LVT in. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's my 2 cents anyway.
All right.
Thank you. Anything else on all of these? Any further questions? Okay, hearing none. We did look in the past when we had a large packet of bids like this before. We've just gone through one by one and done, and all were roll call above 84,000. So, yep, lowest, yep. So do we want to pick which ones we're going to do? Just do all roll call? Are we all happy with that, or?
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate
Raise
it.
your hand or your voice.
What'd you say, AJ?
Gordon said it didn't matter, and I said you can raise his hand or his voice, didn't matter.
Yeah, a little bit more work. Okay, so we'll, some of them pretty quick, we'll go through. Yeah, okay. First up is a motion to award the bid from Service Master in the amount of $3,300 for Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, show of hands.
Okay.
Bid 002A, site demolition. Motion to award the bid from Denny's Painting in the amount of $45,000 for CTE welding storage building.
So moved.
Support.
All, any further conversation? All in favor, show of hands. No, AJ was a no on that one. Okay, thank you. Number 3, bid 003A, concrete at Wilson. Motion to award the bid from J Main Services in the amount of $8,500 for Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, anything further? Hearing none, show of hands in support. Okay, it's unanimous, thank you. Number 4, bid 006A, general trades. Motion to award the bid from L&L Contracting in the amount of $374,679 for the AHS fascia options 2 and 3.
So moved.
I would support that motion.
Thank you. Anything further on this one? Okay, if not, you can do a roll call on this one, please.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
And Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Second to jot that one down. Bid 006B, millwork. Motion to award the bid from Spence Brothers in the amount of $24,500 for Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor? Or any conversation on this one? No? Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please.
Okay.
Passed unanimously, thank you. Bid 007A, roofing. Motion to award the bid from Superior Services in the amount of $900,000 for AHS.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Any further conversation on this one before we do a roll call? Okay, hearing none, roll call please, Leslie.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
And Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Thank you. Bid 007A roofing, motion to award the bid from Caucalan Roofing in the amount of $870,904 for Alpena High School.
I make that motion.
Second.
Anything further on this bid? Okay, hearing none, another roll call, please.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Bid 007B, metal panels, motion to award the bid from Versatile Roofing in the amount of $415,220 for Alpena High School.
So moved.
Support.
Anything further on this bid? Okay, roll call when you're ready, please, Leslie.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
And Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Next up, bid 008A Doors. Motion to award the bid from Traverse City Glass in the amount of $379,950 for Alpena High School.
I make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the doors? Roll call again, please, Leslie.
Okay. Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Bid 009A Flooring, AHS and Wilson. Motion to award the bid from Stanson Floor Covering in the amount of $140,827 for Alpena High School and Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Second.
Anything further? Okay, we'll do a roll call on this one again, please.
Okay. Member Fritz?
Aye.
Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Bid 009B Painting for Alpena High School and Wilson. It's coming from General Fund and Esser. Motion to award the bid from Denny's Painting in the amount of $36,888 for Alpena High School and Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Any further conversation? Hearing none, all in favor, we'll do a show of hands on this one, please. Okay, passes unanimously, thank you. Number 12, bid 023B Mechanical and Plumbing for AHS and Wilson. Motion to award the bid from Reamer Plumbing in the amount of $178,650 for Alpena High School and Wilson Elementary.
So moved. Support.
Anything further? Okay, one more roll call, please.
Okay. Member Lawson?
Aye.
Member Hanson?
Aye.
Member Snow?
Aye.
Member MacArthur?
Aye.
Member Fritz?
Aye.
And Member Meinhardt?
Aye. Last one for the evening, bid 026A Electrical for the high school and Wilson. Motion to award the bid from Omega Electric in the amount of $71,199 for Alpena High School and Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
Support.
Anything else? Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please. Okay, that one passes unanimously. Great. A lot of good work. Nice to see a lot of local names on those businesses as well. Okay, moving on, Human Resources update from Samantha, please.
Good evening. This evening, we have 8 new hires. Deborah Dickinson, business clerk, Alpena High School. Milton Paquette, relief bus driver, Transportation Department. Rhonda Lapata, relief bus driver, Transportation Department. Corey Klein, mechanic B, Transportation Department. Emma Parsons, instructional assistant, Alpena High School. Elizabeth Quintel, instructional assistant, Thunder Bay Junior High. Karen Lowry, cafeteria helper, Alpena High School /ACES. And Catherine DeLion, bus attendant, Transportation Department. For resignations, Ashley Lowell, instructional assistant, Thunder Bay Junior High. Isaiah Lowe, instructional assistant, Alpena High School. Melissa Smith, instructional assistant, Alpena High School. Katrina Nadeau, instructional assistant, Thunder Bay Junior High. And Corey Alexander, instructional assistant, Thunder Bay Junior High. For retirements, Robert Martin, utility B maintenance, Alpena High School with 27 years of service. And Maria Prevo, lead custodian, central office, ACES, and transportation with 22 years of service. Thank you.
Great. Nice to see some transportation department hires on that list this month, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, gifts, Dr. Lawson.
Yes, again, our community's been very generous. Several employees of the city of Alpena donated $50 to purchase gloves and mittens for Lincoln School students. Margaret Connon donated handmade mittens and hats and a cash donation of $100 to ACES Academy. DTE Energy Mittens for Detroit donated hats and gloves for students at Besser Elementary, valued at $250. The AHS wrestling program received the following donations: Wolverine State Credit Union, $1,000, Alpena Furniture, $250, and TJ Hose State Farm, $250. Chippewa Valley Leatherworks donated a basket of sports items valued at $75 to Sanborn Elementary School for Strive for 5. Walmart donated 4 bikes valued at $425 to Sanborn Elementary for the annual walkathon. Eric Johnson donated time spent developing design work for the district valued at $50. The ACES Academy McKinney-Vento Community Fund for at-risk homeless youth and families received the following donations. The Alpena Rotary Club donated $185. Sweet Salon Spa and Customers donated $950. Ann Wire donated $15. Ruth and Dennis Rabo donated $30. And I would move to accept the gifts listed above with gratitude and thank the donors in writing for the generous gifts.
Support.
Thank you. Any further conversation? Okay, if not, all in favor, show of hands. Passes unanimously. Thank you. We are at the second opportunity for citizens or delegations to address the board. Okay. No one's coming forward. We'll move on for information and proposals. Any letters or communications? None this month. Reports and information from superintendent and staff.
All right, well, happy birthday to the board. 1 year ago, we've made it 1 year. And dare I say, we are in a much more pleasant place than we might have started last year. So we are moving forward, which is wonderful. And so I just want to thank everyone on this board for your time, energy, dedication. I think we're doing a great job working together and figuring out what's best for our students and staff and community. And I appreciate each of you for doing that. I'll just go ahead.
Moving on ahead.
All
Yep,
right.
that'd be great.
So the next is just a process we go through. We have a new designated asbestos person, Mr. Simon Zolnarek. Thank you. So we are required to have it is called an asbestos designated person on staff. And so with Ms. Kurt leaving last month, Simon has been trained already, brought up to speed on that, and we've filled out the proper paperwork to make sure that he's recorded properly there. So his certificate, I think, is in your packet as well. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you, Simon, not only for this, but you've done an incredible job stepping into some big shoes, though I think your shoes are bigger. So, yeah. Well, I'm moving stuff around too much.
Youth and recreation grants was next on your list.
So we're thankful again to the county for the youth and rec grants. One of the things that we did when I got here, and it helps that the district's in a much better financial position than it has been in the years past. We kind of shifted some of the funding of our athletic programs to ease the number of grants that go out, or requests that go out to youth and rec. So while we might have in the past more applications for the youth and rec grants, know that most of those programs are still running. We're just funding a lot more of them because we're in, again, a much better financial place than we have been in the past. But this year's recipients of the youth and rec grants is the Alpena High School Robotics. They received $14,000. And then the high school band received $7,600. All right, then, how is it, I can't keep this straight.
Those are the only things listed, but we
Okay,
do
perfect.
we do have the good news packet.
Well, before we do that, I'm going to take liberty here and just remind the community that we are going out for the operating millage on February 27th. Information is being shared with the communities. We sent flyers home. We'll be posting information on our website. It's important that everyone understands what this operating millage is and is not. So I would ask that you just, number one, if you represent an organization, a church, a group, or just a gathering of people, whoever, feel free to reach out to my office and invite me to come speak to your group. Making my way around the county so that I can answer any questions. But also, if you do have questions, check our Facebook page, and then we're going to be putting information on our webpage as well. And then you can always call my office to ask any questions and help clarify that. So February 27th is the operating millage for the district. And then just touching on buses, yes, great news that we've got some people hired and making their way through the training process. I continue to make my way through the training process and absolutely have respect for what it takes to earn your CDL. But we are fully understanding of the frustration and challenges that our busing cancellations create for our families. And again, we apologize for that. We're working through whatever the avenues we have available. We just have a number of compounding circumstances that have led to these cancellations, but hopefully, again, we're moving forward on this and we're going to bring some relief to our families. And I think that's it for me.
On the busing behalf, how is it impacting our attendance?
Yes, so we're going to be, and actually for our strategic planning, we're going to have a little bit of a look into that data. It's having an I've heard we have a couple of students that have reached that truant level as far as the number of absences, and it's related to the busing. Obviously, we're not pursuing truancy in those situations. So overall, it's not having a dramatic impact. Our parents in our community have really stepped up to, create carpools, ride systems for it, and people have been finding alternate ways to get to school. But, even if it's one absence or, a handful of them, it's still a major disruption to what we do.
Is that all on your end?
I think so.
We'll move on then for information and questions from board members. Oh, nothing tonight. That might be the first time in a while. Okay. We will move on then to moving on to our closed session. We have a motion that the board meet in closed session under Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act to review FERPA protected information or other exempt material relating to a personnel matter. And before we make that motion and move on, will we be coming back with any? Okay, no. So there will be no more business happening after our closed session. So that will be it. So we would need a motion to move into closed session, please.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Yep, roll call on this one, please.
Member Hanson.
Aye.
Member Snow.
Aye.
Member MacArthur.
Aye.
Member Fritz.
Aye.
Member Lawson.
Aye.
And Member Meinhardt.
Aye. Okay, and where are we meeting?
Pardon me?
Where are we
We are
meeting?
meeting in the music room,
Okay,
so we can go
music
through
room.
these doors and
Yep, we've been there before.
right
Okay.
across the road.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Can we stay on?
Do I have a taller chair than you? Bill said it. He wants a picture of a back-to-back to see who's taller.
Oh, yeah?
That's why I must sit straighter. I don't think that I'm. Are we back on? Okay, we have returned to our open session. We have no business to take care of. You see advanced planning, board visitation day for those who can attend on the 24th, our workshop February 12th, strategic planning on February 24th, Saturday from 10 to 2, and our regular board meeting at 5:30 on February 26th. And with that, we can adjourn.